Internet. All right, today I'm here making another YouTube video where I talk about all things tools, cars, guns, guitars, and DIY videos and how-tos. So I like to do a lot of different stuff, therefore I end up buying a lot of different stuff. And some of that stuff is not such great stuff. Some of it turns out to be really good stuff. But I make these videos so all of you at home can see the videos about my stuff and see if it's anything that you're interested in. Anyway, today we are going to be doing a video on the Avanti Av100 HVLP 120 volt sprayer. This is available from Harbor Freight and Tools. This is what it looks like on their website. Okay, so what does HVLP mean? It is a high volume, low pressure sprayer, and that means it sprays a lot of paint and it doesn't need a lot of pressure, like a airless sprayer or like a spray gun that would need to be hooked up to an air compressor. This is a 120 volt spray gun, does not require an air compressor. You simply pour in paint, plug in wall, spray paint on wall. Very simple. Anyway, this one will spray oil and water-based paints, as well as stains, allegedly. And it's got a 1.5 quart paint capacity. That means it holds about 1.5 quarts of paint. And this is an affordable option for anybody who's looking to just do simple projects around the house and maybe some DIY home improvement stuff. Today, I'm going to use this sprayer to paint 2 exterior doors. I started painting these doors yesterday. I had planned on just using a brush, and I started brushing the paint on there, and I got brush marks everywhere, and it was taking forever, and it was not coming out even, and it just didn't look that good. I was really not happy with it. And then I noticed there was a lot of nail holes and dings and things like that. Looks like somebody tried to hang some Christmas lights or a wreath on the door a long time ago. So I wanted to patch all those once I got up close and noticed, like, oh, this thing's jacked up. I didn't realize that. Anyway, so I do own a commercial sprayer, and I was going to use that, but it takes about 1/2 gallon of paint to prime a commercial sprayer. This, I only had about 1 quart of paint to paint these doors, and with the Avanti, I can just pour that quart of paint in and spray it. So it gave me a reason to go buy a little 120 volt sprayer and do a YouTube video on it, right? Quick disclaimer. I don't work for Harbor Freight. I don't work for Avanti or any of the companies involved with any of the tools or products that I use or review on my YouTube channel. Also, I know Harbor Freight doesn't always have the greatest reputation when it comes to buying high quality tools, but the big question here is, this is only 69 bucks. So is it worth 69 bucks? Anyway, one more quick disclaimer. For the internet trolls, I know you're out there and I know you're watching. As with any YouTube video that you post online, there's always going to be people that chime in and be like, oh, you're doing it all wrong. You don't know what you're doing. Sure, yeah, we get that. So I know the correct way to paint a door is to take it off the hinges and, lay it out on a sawhorse and do it that way. Yeah, I get it. But today we are experiencing a bizarre phenomenon here in Los Angeles, and that is called rain. And I'm just as confused by all of this rain coming out of the sky as everyone else is. But yes, it is pouring rain. So we are going to go ahead and paint this door on the hinges, and we're just going to mask off the door frame and lay down some runners on the ground to keep the paint off the ground. Anyway, that's enough chatter. One more disclaimer. Not enough chatter. This is not a video about painting a door. This is a video about the Avanti sprayer, right? So stay focused. So we're all taped up. I went ahead and put the spray gun together. It goes together pretty easy. It actually comes in 2 pieces, which I was kind of surprised about. They just fit together and then turn and lock. And I went ahead and put some blue paint in the gun, and it turns out we had to thin it down a little bit according to the instructions. It gives you a little cup to measure the paint, and you count how many seconds it takes for the cup to empty once it's full. And it took too long, so clearly we have to thin it. But you know, it's just water-based paint, so you can thin it with water. Basically, going by how the cup empties, even like regular paint from Home Depot has to be thin. So you can see in here, we had some problem areas that are really difficult to get with a brush because there's a ton of detail on this kind of floral filigree pattern here on this door. Also, you know, we started to notice there's a lot of little nail holes and things. So, you know, I went ahead and sanded it back down. And also right all in here, we had some chipping. We filled that with a little bit of wood putty. And down here, there's another nail hole. So like I said, we went ahead and, you know, finished this stuff with a little bit of wood putty and sanded it down before we hit it with some paint. And now we're gonna go ahead and see how the gun sprays. Okay, so here's the finished product. And overall, I think it came out pretty clean. It's all back together. Door hardware's back on. A welcome sign's back on. All right, so I did not test run the sprayer before plugging it in and making the video. I just plugged it in, filled it up with paint, and started spraying, because if it sucked, I wanted to get the most natural reaction possible. Anyway, I was a little annoyed at how much I had to thin the paint down. It started with a quart, I thinned out the paint, I filled the spray gun, I painted the door, and I still have about a quart. Anyway, if you couldn't tell in the video, the sprayer is extremely loud. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I don't really care either way if it's loud or not. I don't know if that's a problem for you guys at home. Anyway, the trigger action is really strange. I'm used to a airless sprayer, or actually like automotive paint guns. That's what I learned on. And this is like feels like a squirt bottle, and you're like activating a blow dryer. I don't know. I can't really describe it. The balance is very strange. Actually, I have the gun right here. So it is really, the motor's back here, and it's extremely back heavy. Even with a quart of paint in it, man, it was like, and it's heavier than you think it would be. I expected to take it out of the box and be real light and flimsy, super plasticky. And yeah, I mean, it is plastic, but it's, you know, it's quite a bit heavier than I anticipated, which, I don't know, to me is a good sign. Hopefully the quality is better than I thought it would be. But yeah, this trigger is really, really super weird. Whatever. Anyway, you can adjust the tip, right? So this is a sideways fan, or you can turn it and have a up and down fan, like a spray gun. And then it's got a a nozzle adjustment to whether if you want a round pattern or a flat pattern. So that's kind of cool, comes in handy. Overall, I mean, I think the sprayer does a good job. I'm happy with it. I think it did a great job on the door. If you're a homeowner and you're just doing projects around the house and stuff like that, for 69 bucks, you really can't go wrong. If you're a pro and you're using it for work, I'm not sure how that motor is going to hold up. That noise that it makes when it starts, it's really strange. So, I mean, I don't know if it's going to, be okay for daily use, but I mean, only one way to find out. True test will be in 2 weeks when I go to use it again, because I'm going to paint some more doors. But anyway, that's it. I mean, overall, I think it's a pretty good spray gun for 69 bucks if you're going to do small projects around the house. So yeah, if you need one, check it out. Have fun.